Hi everyone, welcome to episode 4 of the Charnwood P51 DCS series. This one starts on July 5th, 7:30 in the morning, so bright and early after the last two episodes. Overnight, the news coming in is that Operation Windsor has rather stalled. The attack did go ahead, but only managed to capture half of the airfield, so the town of Caprica is secured along with some of the northern hangars, but the southern portion of the airfield remains in German hands, being occupied by the 1st SS Panzer Division, or elements thereof, including those dug-in bombars that we failed to take out in the previous morning. We have a different target though, as the Canadian divisions attacking Caprica are more or less holding position. We're moving on to supporting Operation Charnwood itself. We've been targeted with taking out a HQ position just on the other side of Cean city itself, and so we'll be going in for another bombing mission. As you might be able to tell from the length of this video, this is a shorter video, but there's a lot of action in it. So, as normal, I'll just take off, gather the flight, and then we'll skip ahead to as we're just approaching Cean, and the smoke rounds are just about to be fired on the HQ's position. So here we are approaching the target, city of Cean below us, and as soon as we get near Cean we start taking anti-air fire. There seems to be a lot of batteries within Cean itself, and a lot immediately around it. And this just gets worse as we approach the target. At this point I can just see the target up ahead in the field. Worked out its position quite well using the kneeboard beforehand, so know right where to look even though the smoke's not there yet. You can see every time I look out the window there's more AAA coming up towards us. So I'm just trying to keep our flight path erratic here, to try and dodge some of these rounds. Thankfully we see the red smoke confirming the location. Just lining up, making sure everyone's in position, then I order my flight to engage the target. And I go in for a dive. This time I am keeping a lot better eye on the side slip and try and equalise that out in the dive. And there I take a hit. It doesn't seem too bad, drop my bombs and get some good hits. Really happy with that, first time I've actually managed to get bombs on target. Then I look out my window and both my wings are in a really bad shape. Got fist-sized holes in both wings and a lot of shrapnel dotted around. The plane is mostly flying at this point, but really I should RTB here.
Flight. Engage targets of opportunity. Flight. Engage targets of opportunity.
I want to make sure that my flight doesn't dive in unnecessarily, so tell them to use bombs explicitly here. And I kind of feel bad about just leaving my flight to take care of this, so I go back in to try and soften the target to at least distract the AA. If I wasn't flight lead, I definitely would have just RTB'd. But when I am flight lead, I feel bad about just turning tail and running. So I go in for another pass here. problem is, as I'm going into a pass, I can't really jink too much. Have to stay nice and level, and so take another hit. That hit's enough to dissuade me, try and pull out, and I get clipped again. Really badly that time. You can see oil all over the windscreen. Something's very wrong with the engine. So at this point I am just trying to RTB, try and get low, at least as low as I dare, with the plane really not flying well at this point. You can still see that I'm taking a lot of AAA.
Colt 1-1. Request navigation assistance.
Do just double check that I am heading in the right direction. Trying to keep moving, trying to keep low. Airport confirms that I am heading the right way, so I just try and get the distance. At this point my first thought is to try and get across friendly lines, so at least if I bail, I'm bailing in friendly territory. And kind of secondary to that, I can save the plane, I'll try. Final goal is if I can get the plane down on an airfield, I'll try that as well. So my flight seems happy to engage, and they do continue back there. At this point I'm just leaving them to their own devices. They do get several bombs off, which we'll cover later. But I'm just ignoring the recce. There's no way this plane has more than a few minutes left, so I'm doing my best to get back. Checking the fuel levels, everything seems okay. I don't seem to be leaking petrol at this point. There's Caprica Airfield, which lets me know that I'm nearby. And there's our airfield straight ahead. It's quite easy to identify because it has the very close neighbouring airfield whose runway is pointing straight at ours. And there the engine cuts out. And here I start to debate as to whether or not I bail or not.
Colt 1-1. Inbound.
Decide that I'm about in the right position. I do have a lot of height. Flight controls are still working, and so I go in for a landing, turning on all the lights on to give anyone down there warning that I am coming in, as I really don't have any option to abort this landing. The plane actually glides really well despite the holes absolutely everywhere. You start to worry at this point that I'm coming in too fast, so try a few manoeuvres to try and bleed off some speed. I've very much learned my lesson of keeping an eye on the speed the entire time. Here I start lowering the landing gear. And flaps at the same time. Landing gear is down and locked. I am coming in very fast here. So, far too much speed. Just try and bleed off as much as I can. Bounce heavily. The right landing gear does bend there. Going down off the taxiway. And just braking as much as I can, keeping an eye on the tree line. And manage to turn it, and I stop just shy of the tree line. All in one piece, thankfully, somehow. So yeah, a short and eventful mission that time. I finally got my bombs on target, which I'm really, really happy with. I took out 2 of the HQ target tents, which was the primary objective, and also a truck that was waiting there, local blitz truck. My flight, according to the end game screen, took out a total of 6 of those 20mm AAA sites, 2 with bombs, 4 with machine gun passes, and none of the other planes were destroyed. Mine was the only one that had to be crash landed. And I learned exactly how dangerous the flak can be in this. Certainly was very high density flak there. I really had no choice but to RTB at that point. But very proud of my landing. I think I've come along quite a long way since episode 1, where I managed to bin a landing with everything in ideal conditions. This time I managed to sort of save the plane on the landing, although I'm no doubt going to get chewed out by the mechanics for going in for that second strafing run when I really should have just RTB'd as soon as I saw the massive hole in my wing. Alright, it was a very fun mission, a very intense mission for the short amount of time it was. And so looking forward to the next one. As always, if you enjoyed the video, do consider leaving a like. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. And if you're liking the series, consider subscribing. Otherwise, hope you all take care and have fun.